Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Sagers, and you might know that since you're here. And I posted this on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram promoting this. So pleased to see you guys all here tonight. Back again. Normally we do this at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Eastern time. However, my guest tonight, he had a hard out, couldn't do it at 9. And well, when you're dealing with certain kinds of talent, certain level of talent, you know, there's ways that you want to do it, but then sometimes you just have to acquiesce. Sometimes you just have to say, man, I got to get this guest on the show. So I'm willing to do this a little bit earlier to suit their needs, because that's the level of celebrity talent we're dealing with tonight. Now, before I bring him in, just want to say, so I think we're kind of fine tuning this whole process a little bit, and I'm very happy about that. But with fine tuning comes, a lot of, some investment and figuring things out. So just want to say, you guys, if you can, I'm around tonight. We are passing out a tip jar, a virtual tip jar that if you're able to at the end of the show, feel free to throw some support my way. I'm a creative and I'm working for this. So, and then also just say hi on Instagram, Twitter, and everything like that. It's good to see you guys. And just a final note before I get on with it, the Nightmarica podcast, the new podcast I'm doing during the isolation time. Nightmarica, it's a combination of true crime, paranormal, UFOs, cryptids all together. And the hook is that you get me, who is an older dude who's been talking about the paranormal for a long time and, something of a pro in that world. And I love it. But I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and I'm joined by Brett Emmy, who is my co-host and is a spooky enthusiast and a true crime fangirl, and she brings a different, younger perspective to things. Very excited about it. Okay, so with that said, and then you can download Nightmarica, new episode drop today. So, with that said, I'm going to just pop in and say hi to all my people in the chat rooms. Hey there, Jack. Hey there, Stacy. And you know what? I think we're ready to bring this gentleman in. So without further ado, I want to welcome a dear friend, a cohort, a partner in crime, a road trip buddy, and also in isolation, but also in isolation very near to a tiki bar, which makes his isolation the best kind of isolation. Give it up, all you out there, for Frank Cinelli, aka Dr. Spectre. Dr. Spectre, welcome to the Paranormal Fireside Chat. How are you tonight?
I am good. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing great. Before we get on with it, I think we need to, first off, cover some very important ground. What are you drinking tonight?
Tonight, I am drinking vodka and tonic.
Vodka and tonic.
And the reason tonic, tonic has quinine in it.
Mm-hmm.
Quinine is an anti-malaria drug, which, as we know, anti-malaria drugs work well against COVID-19.
So we hope.
So yeah, I'm getting my buzz on and staying healthy.
See, I like it. I like that that you're thinking you've got all the bases covered. Well, okay, what I have tonight is very similar. We did not plan this, but I have some gin and tonic. And, my favorite gin out there is Hendrix. I drink a lot of Hendrix. And I'm going to show you, you might be interested in this. This Hendrix it was a limited edition Hendrix Midsummer Solstice. And it's kind of like a nice, it's infused with natural flavors and floral essences. And it's got a good kind of like floral flavor to it, which goes really well with the tonic. And actually, have you ever had that Mediterranean tonic?
I have, yes.
Yeah, it goes really well with that. And if you like the quinine, which I do as well, and as you said, it's good in anti-malaria drugs and in cocktails. You should check out the Hendrix Orbium if you ever encounter it. and yeah, it's really tasty. Now, Dr. Spector, I don't know if you know this, but our strong but mighty, strong but mighty, small but mighty live stream does have a sponsor, and I just want to pimp them out a little bit. It's the book out, available only on Amazon Kindle. It is called Dead Run, a novel by Mike Maddox. It's very suitable for these times, available only on Amazon Kindle for the talking about apocalyptic scenarios, and very relevant for these times. So everybody out there, check it out. It's pretty cool. It's the concept is like basically you run or you die. It's not quite like zombies, but the main character, if you stop running for any period of time, basically the plague overcomes you and you die. It's very cool because you're constantly on the move. So what are we going to talk about tonight? What?
I'm dead in the first wave.
Yeah. I mean, as long as I don't have to, maybe speed walking, like the mall walkers.
I've prepared my entire life for the zombie apocalypse. The slow walking zombies that are traditional. Yeah, that I'm good. I will survive. I will live. But yeah, this running shit.
Not gonna make it. Not gonna make it.
I'm done.
It's like, yeah, you're the guy that dies in the first reel of the horror movie. And just
yeah, pretty much.
Everybody out there, just so you can't see this, but so I'll bring this up. Stacy is drinking a Moscow Mule tonight. Moscow Mule, I approve. Moscow Mules and Dark and Stormies, two of my favorite go-tos. Vera is drinking a Maker's Mark and ginger beer.
Ah, nice.
And I'm pro ginger beer. I do get the less sugar ginger beer, but I do love it. And also, I don't know if you know this person, but who is Ella? Because Ella is apparently watching right now.
Hello, Ella.
Do you want to clue everyone in on who Ella is and why she's saying Grandpa Zach Zach Zach?
Ella is my granddaughter, who I love dearly, but every time she sees me, she starts calling for my son Zach, her uncle, her funkle, because he's Funkle Zach. Yes.
She's watching. She's making our viewership go up. I was really trying to hit like the toddler demographic because their buying power is through the roof. So
it is.
So and you know what? Not for toilet paper though. They don't have to worry about toilet paper in these troubling times.
No, they do not. No.
And also,
but
go on.
Ella has access to the Amazon account and whatever. So yeah, she's got buying power.
She's got the buying power. Chad says hi, and Chad's drinking. We know Chad. He's drinking tequila, rum, and lime. All right, that's
my buddy. Yeah. We talked about that. Chad and I actually talked about that earlier. And the tequila and coconut rum. Aaron, you and I did that down in Florida. Yeah, and it was like a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty versatile. I mean, it's tasty stuff. And Andrea's saying hi too. Hey there, Andrea. Thank you for joining the party. Vera is with us, and and Andrea's drinking water, which is good. You got to stay hydrated. And Dr. Spector, I know you are a healthcare professional, so I'm sure everybody wants to know, how are things going for you? How's work treating you, and how are you holding up during all this? You're probably beaten, just tired.
I am beaten and tired, but we're doing okay. We're staying open. We're dealing with everybody's concerns, one person at a time. It's frustrating. It's rough, but we're doing it, and God willing, we're making a difference.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers to that. Yeah. Cheers. Cheers to that.
Yes. Wait.
Oh, wait.
Cheers.
Okay.
There we go.
Clink. And cheers to everybody at home. All right. So the question at hand is, will isolation cause a spike in reported activity? So we don't want to give away all the good answers right up front, but so let me ask you, in the time that you've been home, well, you're still going into an office, but maybe going out a little bit less, maybe spending more time just at home. Have you noticed in your own home any kind of uptick in potential paranormal activity?
Well, my office, for God's sakes, is a paranormal. There's got to be a fucking portal there somewhere.
I'm in that office.
Yeah, there's shit happening all the time. I've noticed no difference there. At home, I've noticed an uptick in paranormal activity. Mostly just sounds and footsteps, whatever. And the skeptic in me says, well, you're home more, you're inside more, you're not focused on anything else. Maybe this is why you're hearing this. So well, I don't know, Aaron.
Yeah, it's a good question. And Andrea actually just said, my daughter, she's 2 years old, keeps talking to no one in the corner of her room. I am curious, Andrea, is this new to something that's, to the situation? Or, well, I guess she's 2, so this might also just be part of the developmental stage. But does it seem like it's in line with sort of the isolation phase? You were going to say, Frank.
Yeah, my son Zach did the same thing.
When he was 2?
When he was 2, yeah. He would sit and have these conversations in this language. I had no clue what it was. But clearly, it was this conversation. And he'd like stare in the corner where nobody was there and start doing this.
Yeah. Well, Andrea says this is a newer phenomena for her, or for her child. Now, you touched on this, and I think it's worth exploring even further. Yeah, the different reasons that activity, if it is up, why it may be up is a question worth pursuing and kind of teasing out a little bit. On one hand, I do wonder, people are maybe spending more time at home, right? So not maybe, definitely. Do you think that they're becoming more observant of the noises that their homes or apartments or their general space makes? Like what that 2:30 in the afternoon sound might make, or and not even necessarily paranormal, that it seems like for whatever reason the refrigerator seems to make a especially odd noise in the middle of the day or whatever. Do you think people are becoming more observant of their space?
Exactly. We are forced to be in our space. So yeah, we notice more, we hear more, we see more, we feel more because we're forced to be here. So yeah, it's not that, I don't think activity has actually risen. I think people noticing more has risen.
Well, and of course, according to paranormal theory, one of the types of hauntings is residual, something that recurs on a pattern. So if there's something that's occurring, typically when you would normally be at work or away at the office, if suddenly you're at home, you might be exposed to that residual activity even more. Correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's residual, whether it's whatever. People are noticing more.
Stacy just said that, especially residual hauntings at exact time of day, but we were always gone. Hey, Stacy, don't steal my thunder, all right? When I ask the question, it's my question, all right? Just so you know, I'm eyes on you, Stacy. Same for Dory, who was asking the same question. You guys are all ahead of me. the
No, keep being ahead, Aaron.
yeah,
Good thing.
yeah, you definitely don't want to be behind me, because
No, no. It's a bad situation no matter where you are.
well, but along with that, I'm kind of curious. Do you think that now you said that maybe not there's not necessarily more activity, but let me counter that. So people are being forced to stay home, and along with that, there's a lot of emotions, a lot of uncertainty,
Fair.
and maybe also knowing loved ones or friends or whatever who may be ill, or even just watching the news. Just watching the news alone can be a very stressful situation these days. Do you think the heightened energy, the kind of out of whack energy that we are bringing and centering in a location, because we're not even dispersing it by going out and about, do you think that that could, in theory, amp up potential activity in our own homes?
In theory, yes, absolutely, Aaron. All this stress, all this energy that people are putting out will definitely ramp up what's already there. But again, I don't think it's creating anything new. I think it's just putting a microscope on what's already going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Stacy has a good point, and she got there before I got to this one. Poltergeist activity should also go up with preteens who are under a lot of stress. I mean, that's interesting. If you are in a home full of kids, they are also going to be their energy and that hormonal kind of energy that goes along with that is also going to be out of whack.
True. Yeah. If you're in a home with preteens and teens, God bless you.
It's like a portal
yes,
to hell right there.
That does have the potential to ramp things up.
Now, yeah, and I don't know. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that it could open yourself up to, if you're dwelling in some sort of negative thought process, it could open yourself up to not the best situation. And with that, so Chad just wants to point out, Chad says he increased stress, then he should have a portal in his living room. If you have a portal in your living room, then I would advise selling tickets to that. Well, not right now, but I would check that out. Oh, and hey, Frank, we have a special guest here in the chat room. Say hi. Beth Belanti is with us.
Hello, Beth.
Beth Belanti.
Billion years.
I know, a billion years. Miss you and love you. I desperately owe her a phone call. But one of my favorite people out there. And so here's a question, and obviously everyone in the chat room, I want to hear from you guys as well. If you have, we talked a little bit about residual hauntings that might be occurring on their own schedule that we may not be aware of. But if you have some sort of intelligent haunting in your space, do you run the risk of, I mean, can those, in theory, I know there's no rules, but in theory, might a ghost, an intelligent haunting, also start getting stressed out over they don't even have any alone time? If they are somehow tied to that place and the humans that also occupy that space are not dispersing, might that intelligent haunting also be like, geez, like I can't get away from these people right now? Almost like they're also quarantined with the living.
That's a great question. You got to imagine if you were a spirit, right? And you looked forward to your alone time every day, and now it's gone. How would you feel?
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like if they are aware on some level, yeah, it could be stressful for them too. And already, like we've learned through paranormal theory, we've theorized through paranormal theories and investigations that that it is already a stressful state for some spirits that believe they are tied to a location, they're already under a state of stress. So this could amp that up. And yes, I mean, this is a good point. I can speak to that. Stacy points out some dogs are irritated having everyone home. Yeah, even dogs need some breathing room.
Yeah, we all need breathing room.
We do. And I'm curious about anyone out there, if you feel like during your time during isolation, have you felt like activity in your home has ramped up? Andrea mentioned her daughter looking at the wall and talking to it. But anyone else, have you noticed any kind of uptick in the activity? Now, Frank, there's something I wanted to get to. No, I mean, I guess the other thing is, and I don't think I'm repeating myself, we didn't quite cover this element. Like, would you agree that the more you investigate, almost the more tuned in you get with activity? Does that happen?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. You know, the more you investigate, the more in tune you get with that type of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So you start to feel more. You know, and I know, yeah, feel is not scientific, but you know, you go to a place that maybe 5 years ago you would have walked in and thought, there's nothing here. But now you walk in and it's like, okay, yeah, this feels weird. It feels weird over here. It's wrong. It's different. There's something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I almost wonder if, like, in addition to, as we said, getting used to the sounds of your home all day long, all night long, you also start picking up on energy that you normally, weren't tuned into all day long, and
yeah, sure, absolutely.
Another person wants to say hi to us, Melissa June Daniels. Hey,
what's up, Melissa?
I just can't say her name without saying all three names. Melissa June Daniels.
Right.
And good to see you too. So another topic that someone mentioned earlier that I wanted to get to, because again, the awesome people in the chat room are just way ahead of me. Here's one for you. Stacy again, like, back off, Stacy. Just kidding.
No, Stacy's awesome.
Stacy is pretty awesome. She's on top of the whole conversation here. I would think with clearer skies, we should see more aliens, even the animals starting to take over again. What do you think about that?
No, I was going to bring that point up eventually. No, the skies are clearing. There's less pollution. So yeah, absolutely. You should be seeing more UFOs or UFO-like experiences. Although today they did announce there is a brand new hole in the ozone layer over the Antarctic.
I missed that.
Yeah. So whether that's called, what's that?
I said because we need something else going on right now.
Yeah, we do, and they blamed it on like lower temperatures and swirling and chemicals from output of man. Maybe UFO.
Yeah, well, there's that. First off, if there's higher intelligence checking out the Earth right now, and this is clearly a global event, that's got to pique their interest, right?
Right, exactly.
Curious about what's going on, but beyond that, so maybe in theory there could be more, but also for those of us that have an outdoor space or those of us that have time on our hands, we're just looking to the skies more, probably, or at least some of us are. So we might be picking up on more things.
Yeah. Well, sure. We've had major celestial events, and an asteroid coming close, Venus in its brightest, full moon, pink moon. So people are looking upward more.
Well, and now out where you live, near the Paranormal Tiki Bar, it's already gets pretty dark there at night. But I have noticed in New York City, it is it is darker. There is a little less light pollution because businesses are closing early or maybe just closed entirely, unfortunately. So less light pollution also just means more visibility, better visibility to the skies.
Right.
So that said, let me just bring in a couple chat comments here. Let's see here. You guys are talking a lot. I love that too. That's great. Just a quick comment from Carly. When a place is investigated a lot, does that energy help strengthen the paranormal energy in the space? Circular reasoning. When a place, no, I think that makes sense. Acknowledgement, right?
What was the question?
Can you see it on the screen?
No.
Oh, you can't. There, you should be able to.
No, I don't.
When a place is investigated a lot, does that energy help strengthen the paranormal energy in the space? To me, that sounds like acknowledgement.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You go to a place and, if you've gone to a place that's never been investigated before, okay, and you bring out all your paranormal toys.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, spirit does not know how to deal with that. Okay. The longer you go, the more familiar spirit gets with you and your equipment. And then boom, all of a sudden you start getting all these answers, these devices going off and whatnot.
Sure.
So yeah, absolutely. I think that's the more you go, the better it is.
And yeah, it's, I would think that, yeah, the more you're looking for something, the more likely something might be receptive, might want to talk back.
Right.
So just along similar lines, Di here was asking, where I asked if there was an uptick in activity, and Diana said, my kids won't go in the closet. My animals are attracted to it. I've noticed the cats have been trying to get in there more. They said it's creepy. So something happening at home where she is, and I'm curious to find out more about that, Diana. You got to keep me posted on that. Now, kind of sticking with that UFO question we asked a moment ago, our buddy Chad wants to know, if aliens landed today and said, get on the UFOs and we will save you all, do you get on or stay put? Dr. Spector.
I get on in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think I would do that normally, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
COVID or no COVID, it's like, aliens come aboard. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we do run the risk of Twilight Zone to serve man situation, where anytime an alien shows up and says, we will save you all, you should probably be a little bit suspicious of the cookbook of when you dust it off or whatever and translate it.
Right.
How to cook humans just to serve man. But that said, I'm willing to risk that. I'll go. I'm gonna hop on that saucer. Any old day. I think. I don't know if I should tell you this, Frank, but I'm going to tell you anyhow. Stacy, who gets our gold star for overachiever for the night, did say, "It is nice to see your face, Frank." I could have held that from you. I could have never. You may have never known that, and I shared that with you.
Right. Until I went on Facebook and looked at the comments,
and you're like, why didn't he tell me about that?
I know, what an asshole.
Oh yeah, there's a pink moon going on tonight, by the way.
Yes, there is.
So
it's also the worm moon, Aaron.
The worm moon and the pink moon.
Yes.
It's a lot of moon action all at once.
I know. I feel like a Moonie. Got the haircut for it.
The chats are talking about probing, good probes, bad probes. I don't know that you need to see all those content, but Chad does say Project Bluebeam. If you have never heard about it, it's a great take on getting the UFOs or not. It makes for fun quarantine reading. Chad, as far as quarantine reading, curious to hear what everybody out there is reading up on. I've been rereading the Mothman Prophecies by John Keel, and that's been one of the books I've been knocking out on the quarantine reading, and definitely awesome and creepy all at once, and reminds me how much I like Keel's work. Okay, so Dr. Spector, before I lose you tonight, I do want to get your take on something that someone else said, and I can't find the comment, but along with UFOs, someone did mention animals may be coming out more because there's certainly less people. Now, along with that, what do you think about cryptids? Do you think that there's a heightened possibility for people seeing cryptids, Sasquatch, Jersey Devils, anything out there?
No, actually, I don't.
No.
No, I don't. Because cryptids are very well aware of their surroundings and what's going on. Bigfoot, for example.
I don't think you like to be called Bigfoot, I hear. I think you prefer Sasquatch.
Yeah, whatever, or Carl, or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Carl. Yeah, you're on first name basis with him.
Anywho, so Bigfoot, especially, again, very well aware of its surroundings, will not engage unless you start to encroach upon its territory.
Mm-hmm.
So, all these people who are home and sheltering and maybe going out for walks. Again, you're walking through your neighborhood or you're walking through your local park, which, again, most of them are now closed, but you're not going deep into Sasquatch territory.
Yeah. Although Dory says cryptids, might feel safer now and come out more. Possible. I mean, if I see a Sasquatch walking around Brooklyn, I'm down with it. Andrea mentions the Jersey Devil is real. I mean, a lot of reported sightings over the years, Andrea, and I mean, I have to say, I don't know if I saw the Jersey Devil, but I definitely saw with Dr. Spector something with glowing red eyes. Red eyes. Wow. Apparently
red eyes.
Yeah. And Robert has a question. Secrets of the Skinwalker Ranch. Have you seen it, Dr. Spector? Have you been checking that one out?
No, I have not seen it yet. And I have it recorded. I have not seen it. Skinwalker Ranch. Skinwalkers are freaking scary as all get out. And to investigate them, to do this, if they actually find one, God bless them all, because there ain't going to be none of them left.
Yeah.
My 2 cents.
It's a fascinating story. It's interesting to me because we say skinwalkers and we apply that to sort of indigenous Americans as we understand it, but the skinwalker concept is present in so many different cultures. We've seen variations on essentially what is a skinwalker across cultures, so I find it interesting.
Right.
Andrea did say she's had a Jersey Devil experience, so I'm curious to hear about that.
Yeah, me too.
So now
I've actually gone on investigations for Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's my take on it. Is I think we've probably talked about this before. I'm on a sliding scale of belief. However, I think once you allow in for the possibility of a ghost here or an elemental there or Sasquatch here, it's kind of everything into the pool. I kind of open the doors for everything being possible. Maybe not likely, maybe not definitely real, but I try to entertain the notion of everything being possible.
Right.
It's,
right. Exactly.
Makes life a little more interesting too.
No, again, Jersey Devil, I want to believe. Okay, it's like the poster from X-Files. I want to believe. I've gone on devil investigations. We've gone through the cemetery looking for leads.
Mm-hmm.
See, what I did there?
I got you. That was very clever. Yeah.
Yeah. Mrs. Leeds' burial place is actually in a spot you cannot access.
Mm-hmm.
The same with the original birth home. You can see it from the street, but you cannot get there. So, yeah, whatever it is, we got absolutely nothing on the investigation other than some good information. The internet leads you to believe that the house has been torn down.
Yeah.
The house actually still stands. So
I don't know if I really buy into it as like connected to Mrs. Leeds and Seventh Son of the Seventh Son kind of curse. I think more in terms of maybe some sort of interdimensional entity, or
it's the 13th son of Mrs.
Oh,
Leeds.
Yeah, but seventh son, 13th son.
Yeah, what's a couple of sons amongst friends,
couple
right?
of sons. I mean, other than a lot less money, I guess.
Right.
But now, before I let you go, I know I'm going to let you go soon because I know you got a big day at work tomorrow. I just want to point out, Vera does say she saw a shadowy figure in her backyard. It looked like it was trying to hide behind a tree. It was the middle of the day, and she's never seen something so black. So weird. This was just a few days ago. So shadowy figure. Vera, I'd be curious to find out if you think it was like a shadow person or if it was just a physical kind of figure that was shrouded in shadows. But that's interesting. And then, other people mentioned the Wendigo. The Wendigo is an awesome legend. I agree with Andrea on that one. And maybe the Wendigo will make an appearance as well. And okay, I gotta get this one in. This is a great one, Chad. I wonder if the Black-Eyed Kids will start making more appearances, seen as how more people are home. That's cool, right?
Yeah, that's believable.
Yeah, and with that, Chad, I will say this. So black-eyed children, like vampires, like demonic entities, according to theory, you have to let them in. They can knock on the door, but essentially you have to open the door. You have to let them in. Now, for me personally, I don't really open the door typically. I don't just open it up. But in this day of isolation, with a lot of stuff being delivered, I'm expecting more packages, and I'm admittedly getting so much more loose about just opening the door or buzzing someone in or whatever it may be, that I'm just like, oh, it must be the Amazon guy, must be UPS, FedEx, whatever. So that's a fascinating theory because people are more susceptible right now. Really cool, creepy comment there, Chad. So Dr. Spector.
Yes.
I'm going to let you go because I know you've got work tomorrow, right? And yeah. So you're probably tired, or how are you doing?
I'm good.
You're good? Oh, you want to stick around, or should I let you go?
I'm good, bud. Yeah.
You want to
whatever
stick around?
You want.
Cool.
Whatever you want. Whatever you need, Aaron, I'm here for you, buddy.
No, I'm happy to keep you around. I just didn't know if I had to cut you loose. Katie says we should have a drink for her. Katie, we are already on top of that.
Here we go, Katie.
Cheers, Katie. Blue alcohol. Stacy is drinking blue alcohol. Frank is a good sport. Man, everybody is loving you in the comments. I don't think I should be showing you these comments. Getting a little too much love. Oh, Stacy saying, wow. Yeah.
What?
No, that's what I'm saying is Stacy is saying, stay. This is what happens when I bring you on. Suddenly everyone is so in love with you. We can't have that.
Aaron, deal with it. I'm more likable than you.
Yeah, you think so?
I'm just saying.
Wow. Okay. Frank is awesome. I shouldn't even show you these things. Andrea says Frank is awesome.
All right. Go on.
I know.
Seriously, go on, because my ego isn't
good. I don't know if his head can grow. You're going to grow right outside of that frame right there.
Well, yeah. You know what? Yeah. The beats are getting a little tight right now.
Yeah.
But go on.
Well, I mean, just in terms of life right now, I can't talk to you without asking. First off, what have you been cooking lately? Because I will say now I'm going to lavish praise on Frank. Is definitely one of the people that I eat best around. He's always cooking up something great and just pulling it out of his head, coming up with some amazing recipes. Anything really great that you've been cooking lately?
Tonight we just went basic. I grilled for the first time in the season, so I got the grill ready, and then I just grilled some chicken, and we did some baked broccoli, and that was it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the weekend, what did I do? I did something really cool. I can't remember. I did Polynesian style short ribs.
Ooh, nice.
Oh my God. Yeah, they were amazing. Poly, Polynesian ribs. I did, because I always got to have a side, and sometimes I just don't feel like making those from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
I look for, the frozen shit. I did emoji potato crisps in the air fryer. Yes, so they were smiley faces and hearts.
Okay.
But it was weird because when you cook them, a lot of the smiley faces got very distorted, where they were like,
A face of horror.
Yes,
emoji.
exactly. Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
You should what you should do is you should cook some of those up, and at the next event you go to, after all of this is wrapped up, you should bring some of those to the next event, especially the ones with faces of horror. I mean, on that note, what granted, everything is tentative, right? Not tentative, but I shouldn't even think about it that way, because we should be optimistic. But what kind of events do you have lined up? Where can people find you once we can leave our homes?
It's everything is tentative right now, dude. I will be at Fort Mifflin in June. Good Lord willing. I will be at Fort Wayne
Fright Fest.
Fright Fest. Yes.
We will
When
both
is that?
be there.
Yeah.
I think we will be bringing the fright to the fest.
We are the fright for the fest. So yeah, I will be there, and I will be in the UK at Sage Paracon 5, I believe it is.
Oh my God, I'll be there too.
You will be there too.
I mean, I'll be bringing the sagers, but
yeah, it's not funny. It's not funny. But go on.
I think it was pretty funny.
No,
I can cut you out of this stream at any minute.
You can, but you won't.
I can kill your mic. See, I just killed your mic. I have that power.
Oh, you bastard.
This is why I really like this new software. It's pretty great.
No, I'm not digging this at all. No.
Well, Diana and Vera are looking for a paranormal event. So you just heard of a couple there. Fort Mifflin, Fort Wayne Fright Fest will both be there. Sage Paracon. Can't give enough love to MJ and Sage Paracon. Definitely looking forward to that one again.
Right.
And
that's a good one.
So I definitely would say check that out. All right, now we're hitting the 45-minute mark. So I am gonna cut you loose, and I'm gonna say goodbye to all these people. Before I do, before I let you go, where can people find you? How can they reach out, ask questions, say hi, give you a follow?
On Facebook, I'm there as Frank Cinelli. Twitter, I'm at Dr. Spectre. Instagram, Dr. Spectre. Yeah, that's it.
All right, and that's just so we know, that is Dr. Spectre with here, I'm going to spell it out there. Dr. Spectre. There we go. So give him a follow, give him a like, say hi to him, bug him, annoy him. All right, Dr. Spectre, Frank Cinelli, thank you for joining us on the Paranormal Fireside Chat tonight. And I hope to have you back soon. Thanks for being such a good sport and bringing a lot of great ideas to the mix.
Aaron, always my pleasure to be here, bud.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Love you, buddy.
All right. See ya.
All right, guys, you still got me for a couple more minutes, so I am still here. And I figured, um, if you have any follow-up questions, thank you, Carly. I'm glad that you're here. That's really kind of you to say. I am gonna throw that up as a self-serving comment. These chats are some of the best things that come out of this. That's very sweet, very kind of you, and it's also helping me maintain my own sanity. Now, before I let you all go, you might hear a truck outside my window. It's New York City. It's a city that takes naps right now. It's not the city that never sleeps. But one thing I thought was, before I let you go, when we first started doing this, I was reading some ghost stories and reading some folklore and things like that. It's been a couple days since I've done that. So I was wondering if you wanted me to read an urban legend before we wrap the night up. Now, a couple of the urban legends, these are all pretty familiar ones. However, I don't know the last time that you heard a reading of one. So I'm thinking that we're going to go with, how about high beams? I'm going to tell the story of high beams. And just for reference, I'm pulling this particular rendition out of Alvin Schwartz's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And but this story is timeless, really. You can find renditions of this everywhere. High beams. The girl driving the old blue sedan was a senior at the high school. She lived on a farm about 8 miles away and used the car to drive back and forth. She had driven into town that night to see a basketball game. Now she was on her way home. As she pulled away from the school, she noticed a red pickup truck followed her out of the parking lot. That's odd. A few minutes later, though, the truck was still behind her. She tried to shrug it off. I guess we're going in the same direction, she thought. But she watched the truck. She watched it in her rearview mirror. When she would change her speed, the driver of the truck also changed his speed. When she passed a car, so did he. Then he turned on his high beams. He flooded her car with light. And he left them on for about a minute. It was unsettling. But still, nah, it's nothing. He probably just wants to pass me, she thought. But there was a sense of uneasiness growing within her. Usually she drove home over a back road, but not tonight. Not too many people went that way, and then she hesitated and went down another back road. She immediately regretted it, because when she turned onto that road, so did the truck. Anxiety sets in. I've got to get away from him, she thought. She began to drive faster. Then he turned on his high beams again, and after a minute, then he turned them off. Then he turned them on again. Then off again. On again, off again. She's freaking out at this point. Anxiety, fear, terror is overcoming her. But she drove faster. And still, the truck stayed right behind her. Then, the high beams. He turned them on again. And once more, her car was ablaze in light. What is he doing? What does he want? She's driving, knuckles gripped white around the wheel. Driving fast, and still, he turned them on again. Then he turned them off again. A minute later, on, off. A minute after, on again. And this time, he left them on. She barely see, blinded with the lights of the high beams in her rear view. But she knew the way home, and at last she did pull into the driveway. The truck pulled in right behind her. She jumped from the car and ran to the house. "Call the police," she screamed at her father, at her mother. Out in the driveway, they saw this truck, and she saw the driver of the truck. And in his hand was a gun. The parents swiftly rushed to the phone, called the police, and when they arrived, and they arrived fast, they started to arrest him. At first, she thought the terror was over, but then he pointed to the girl's car as they hauled him off. "You don't want me. You don't want me. You want him." And they looked and crouched behind the driver's seat. There was a man with a knife. As the driver of the truck explained it, the man slipped in the girl's car just before she left the school. He saw this happen, and he had a daughter at home as well. But there was no way he could stop it. He did think about getting the police, but he was afraid to leave her, and he was afraid to alarm the man in the back seat. So he did what he thought was his only option. He followed her. And each time the man in the back seat reached up to overpower her, that's when the driver of the truck turned on his high beams. That's when the man dropped down, thwarted and prevented from killing the young girl. Okay. It was Frank's truck. He saved the day because Frank's in the chat room. Thank you, Stacey. I appreciate it. I occasionally have the gift of gab and reading. So that was kind of a fun story. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Classic urban legend, classic kind of creepy tale, scary story to tell in the dark, if you will. I like that one. So maybe we'll tell another one on another night because we are reaching, we're getting close to an hour, and I am probably going to wrap up here. Before I do, one more time, I want to give some story. Same story, and the guy was missing a foot. He had a hook for a hand. So, all of you out there, thanks for joining tonight. Please say hi to me. Twitter and Instagram, those are places that are great, especially when you're trying to work, hustle, and everything. Instagram is really helpful, so give me a like, say hi over there if you may. I appreciate it. Check out the Nightmerica podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you download your fine podcasts. This week, we cover the topic of the internet, the ghosts in the machine, curses. Can a person continue to haunt their Facebook profile after they pass away? What happens when an open world video game ceases to be populated? Do people linger in there? And what about murderers that stalk dating apps in the internet? Check that out. And also want to give a shout out to our sponsor. That, of course, is Dead Run by Mike Maddox. And that is available only on Kindle. And want you guys to check that out only on the Amazon Kindle. Please download that. Give that a like. It's a very cool tale that is relevant to these times. And finally, want to say that for you guys, I would appreciate it. I mean, I know these times are tough, all that good stuff. We are all kind of trying to get through it. But if you like doing these things, like I said, I'm a creator. Tip jars open. Go ahead and show some love if you are able. That is by no means a requirement, because I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep talking no matter what happens. But for those of you that have, put a little love in the tip jar, I appreciate it. And for all of you that just show up and listen to this thing, I also appreciate that. You guys are awesome. This is great fun, and it is helping me maintain my own sanity. So thank you guys. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna say good night, adieu, farewell, take care of each other. Follow the rules, so we can all get past this awkward time in our lives. But also, yeah, definitely take care of each other. Be kind, and also, you know what? Stay weird.